start the recording here. And so this next person is Kejti. It's actually written in the most unique way I've ever seen, but pronounced Katie. I like it. It's cool. So hello, hello there. I'm Kejti, and I've studied 3D game art in Italy for 2 years. Another person from Italy. The baddest artist. Yes, that's you, isn't it? You're Kejti. Um, Even though I went to school, I admit I've studied mostly as a self-taught artist, and I've acquired my current skills thanks to the channels like Dynasty Empire. Dude, crazy. That's cool. Uh, I started to study 3D in 2019, and now my goal is to find a job as a props artist in the video game industry. Usually I love to express my creativity, but now I would like to focus more on the quality of my props and get better at making photorealistic stuff. My goal is to improve, especially in the texturing and lighting aspects. The softwares that I use the most are Unreal, Maya, Substance, Marmoset, and ZBrush. Even though I still have to improve a lot on my sculpting skills. Man, we're always improving on sculpting. Always improving. It's kind of never ending. But let's take a look. You're in Germany as well, or you're from Frankfurt, Germany. So this is 5 months ago. This already looks really cool. No, so you're in Italy then. This looks awesome. So there's some density stuff going on here. Yeah, because you said in your intro you went to study in Italy. If you reload, it's updated. No way. Oh my god. In the last hour and a half, the traveling time. That's crazy. So this looks really cool. The modeling is really interesting. The materials are really nice. You can see there's a bit of a resolution issue here with like this area is modeled, right? This looks really cool. But because you're using, I assume your real-time relocation, I assume you're using trim sheets to do this. So because of the scale of the trim sheets, these details tend to look lower resolution just because there's not as fine of detail, right? And see, when you get even further back, it's baked. Wait, what? Yeah, is it a bake? Let me scroll through here and see if there's any. I mean, it looks really cool, and the camera is really close to show all that detail. Because I can tell that it's baked, but I'm wondering if it's like a. Oh my gosh, what? Hang on. Yeah, some things are very sharp, some things are very soft. Like if we zoom in here, the sharpness of these details is so sharp that these just look like soft clay, right? So all you need to do is add some sharper edges in here and really like bring that sharpness into these shapes, even if they're not baked. You don't think it's a trim sheet? Man, the resolution on that is like, if that's not a trim sheet, that's like really high res. Either way, it looks cool. It messes with the consistency. Man, you did that in ZBrush. That is intense. Because I would do this with a trim sheet, where you just do that pattern on a flat square that just tiles, and then you just UV these to that, and then you don't have to sit there sculpting away like madness. Yeah, what's the texture resolution on this? That's pretty hardcore. 4K. Okay. Okay. Still looks higher res than that. gonna be honest. Um, so if you were, so you're going for games, you need to be able to achieve the look of this asset with maybe like a 1024 texture in trim sheet. Trim sheets save lives, yes. Are some parts reused? Man, I imagine so, because yeah, because if you use a trim sheet, you can get all this detail for a quarter of the cost in your texture. because no one's gonna let you submit this into a game engine, right? With that resolution, just so that you're aware. But yeah, the main thing I want to point out is how soft these details are by comparison to the rest of the asset. I think if there were harder edges on here, like really refined edges, you could really, this would look sick. And other than that, I mean, man, yeah, polycount wise is also, I don't know if this, I don't think this is intended to be game ready because it's very high res, but it looks cool. It definitely looks cool. I want to see this one. An egg. Learning and baking, because I always have problems with it. Dude, baking is painful when you're first getting used to it. Dude, this is cool. Oh, man. Yeah, you're having fun. So, I'll be honest, like, I know you want to focus on realistic stuff and all that, but the thing is the art that I'm seeing from you is so unique. It's fresh. You know what I mean? Like it's nice to see something uh that's not just a sci-fi hallway, if that makes sense. Not to bomb on people's sci-fi hallways, but you know what I mean. Like everyone's always making like, oh, I'm gonna learn substance designer. One of the best materials to start learning substance design is probably a brick wall because of all the complexities that are involved. So you see a lot of brick walls. We don't see just an egg, and this isn't just an egg. Just so that we're clear, this is crazy. It's really cool. So finding out how to make this look really cool, or not really cool, it already looks cool. How to make this look the way that it looks while also being game ready, I think is the thing to understand. And it sounds like that's where you're heading now, is you're trying to figure out like, yeah, the title of this should be an egg, but in quotes, definitely. It looks cool. It's really cool. You've got a folding fan as well. Yeah, so like these patterns, oh, this is so interesting because I think again I would probably use like a trim sheet pattern and then just map it to one of these and just make one of these with that trim sheet and then just UV, just duplicate that one across the board. I mean, I think, hmm, man, that's super cool. Is this one not? Are these ones not alpha? It feels like these two are rendering differently. Do you see that? So those ones are solid, and these, I'm very confused. It looks cool though. No, they are not alpha. Okay. So that's another thing with like when you see these types of things and you don't have a background behind it, even if it was like dark like this, but it was a some type of image that's blurred because they're covers. It makes sense to me. I mean, it sounds like the whole thing doesn't have alpha though. Either way, I'm really enjoying the look and feel of the content that you're creating, and I'm excited to see this type of detail show up once you start to get into the territory of like making it real time in a game engine and or marmoset. Like this is cool as well. But you can see there's a discrepancy between like all of the different like these like this is quite detailed, this is soft, this is really like simple in its shape, which I guess kind of makes sense for this type of material. I think this screwdriver. I love how you're like an egg. We're doing a screwdriver now. Um, First attempt at doing photorealistic textures. I tried to optimize the model to make it suitable for video games. So this is like this is you getting into it. You're starting to go down that road. Oh, I'm excited for you. Make sure to ask all the questions. Like the Discord's there to help you in case you need anything. Oh my god, this is so. There's a really good texture series on ArtStation um, from was it Jason Ord? The hand drill, definitely the drill. It's very good because I think where your texturing will really start to pop is when you start using. I don't know if you have in this one, but when you use like stencils from like actual imagery, man, the quality that you can get is so nice. Like, see this darker edge in here? Is it like that in the? You can see how dark it is here, but it's not black. Like yours is very dark. So think about, make sure that you're sitting inside of like a range that isn't being pushed too far. The other thing is I'd be curious to see like what your metalness map looks like, and because there's, where is that? You can see in the little screw here. This is where like your ZBrush work could come in, you know? Like you could oh man, how do I do this? Give me a second here. So when we zoom in here, and you can see like how the wood is kind of around the screw. You can sculpt that in. There's even a, is that a S there? There's interesting details that are all kind of throughout here. But these are opportunities for you to sculpt some info. I would probably do this part and this. Maker's Mark. Yeah, you're probably right. Extra screwdriver. And just in case you didn't know. But yeah, these, I would sculpt this type of information. The screw could be its own mesh inside, and then you just sculpt the wood around it. But no, this is really cool. I'm excited because I can see you've been like, you're in the, you're around the swimming pool, and now you're like taking, the little steps into the pool, and then you're getting ready to go for a swim. I'm excited. This is gonna be sick. Do you have any questions? Because I think we've kind of covered all of your work so far. I don't know how long you've been in the Discord, but I'm really excited to see more from you. Give us a second here as well, because the chat delay. Chat delay is real. What about the level of photorealism? So I can tell that you're heading more in that direction, and that's why I was suggesting that texturing tutorial for you. That's on ArtStation. Someone totally welcome to post it in chat if someone digs it up. You are definitely, you're heading in the right direction. It's going to be about understanding your PBR values and like what makes metal look like metal, like representing the surfaces that you're seeing in real life. Like you can see, this is quite smooth considering all the little damages. So I would say this little damage bits are a little bit in the albedo, but not in the normal almost at all. And maybe roughness as well. So like you've got some normal information there that could probably be all smooth, and it's all in your roughness for that type of work. Like this area, like I can see you're heading in that direction. For a first model, this is very good. Just watch out for really dark values and what metal needs to look like. And don't be afraid to add more geo here. Like in the way you've modeled it, I probably wouldn't model these in at all. I would just allow the normal map bake to support that unless you want to have it modeled in. I mean, modeling in it is totally fine. It's just watch how you're using your geometry, because you can really cut down on some of the geo and like where it terminates just to keep the poly count lower. So that way you can pay for it in other areas, like in here. Like this, like these 3 loops don't need to be here. Maybe one of them, right? Because then you can help. That loop should be there in order to help maintain that curve. But yeah. Cool. Very cool. Thank you for sharing your portfolio.